Yeah, yeah.
He's been
that
through
was
like
awesome.
several.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Hey.
Oh, look. Sorry, I'm a couple of seconds late, but welcome to Block Talk. If you are new here, I am Ashley Riot, and tonight is super exciting. I'm joined with my new co-host Atomic, also
Hello.
hi, and hello, and some of the team behind Synth Riders, which I don't know if you guys have played. This is another VR rhythm game. We like rhythm games, right, Atomic?
A little too much.
Just a little bit.
He was just talking about the dedication, the lengths he goes to play. Yeah.
Is he talking about the pain that he's in, or what kind of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe.
So basically, we're just gonna go around and kind of, hey, thanks so much for the cheers. And also, we had Cariz come in here with a ton of you guys. So if you guys are raiders from Cariz, I call her Rise because I just make up my own names for people. But she's wonderful. So welcome. Thank you so much for the raid. I know you guys know her and love her as well. She's gonna be joining us a little bit later. She's taking a shower from her. So we're just going to kind of introduce ourselves really quick, and then we'll get started. So I'm Ashley Riot. I'm a streamer here on Twitch and a content creator for Team Gravity, and I do a lot of work with BSMG and Elliot here in Block Talk and community stuff.
She is fantastic. We love her.
And then we'll just kind of go down the list. We'll do Aben first. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, hi guys. My name is Abraham. My real name is Abraham. People call me
Spoiler alert.
Aben. And I'm the creative director and graphic designer and of Synth Riders. We came with this idea as a team and also partner of Conclusion Interactive. And yeah, I'm happy to answer your question.
Awesome.
That was the most humble introduction. I have to say, he comes from a family of like crazy artists. His mom is huge in like multiple countries. Has had work done in like Google. They've
we're gonna ask you all about that. See, now this is why I brought Elliot, because he's not gonna
be humble.
Not answer my questions. So that's why he's here. So I was worried about calling you Abraham, but that's cool. So
I'm saving some stuff for later.
Okay. I don't want to spoil anything, but you're not gonna get away with
the creative director. If you guys didn't hear that, and they're coming to us from the studio, you guys. So. Thank you guys so much for being here from the studio.
I'm also from Venezuela. I mean, we've moved to LA, me and my family, almost 6 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Very cool. So from Venezuela.
Their studio is gorgeous. It has like this all glass, huge. On one side you can see the ocean, on the other side you see the Hollywood sign. Really cool place, just like inspiring place to work.
I love the ocean. So ocean or mountain view, which do you prefer?
I like the ocean.
Ocean?
The ocean.
Same.
Why not both?
I really miss it. I'm from the Gulf, near the Gulf, which isn't really the ocean, so I'm from Texas. And then I moved to Canada, and I can't swim in the ocean here. I miss it so much. I just got back from TwitchCon with you guys, and I was at the water every single day. I was so happy.
Oh, wow.
I miss it so much.
Wait, so were you born in Texas?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm actually an American.
Oh.
Yeah, I had to move to Canada because I needed spine surgery, and I couldn't afford it in the United States.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's kind of what started my whole VR journey. Yep, yeah.
But I feel like you've picked up a couple of Canadian words, right?
I have, yeah. I say things like Zed, Fruzy.
And even a little bit of your accent. Like there's a couple words.
Yeah. And I say A, but I still say y'all. So it's kind of like a nice mix.
Hey, y'all.
Atomic, tell us about you for all the people in the chat that don't know who Atomic is.
Unfortunately, that do not know me. I am Atomic. I play Beat Saber religiously. There's not really much about me. I stream every now and then. I do this. I do that.
Okay, we need to listen. Atomic has peaked global rank 1 in Beat Saber. We need to stop with the humbleness. Atomic has peaked global rank 1 in Beat Saber. He was the recent winner of the Whoops Invitational, which was one of the largest prize pools, and it was all for charity. He won like $4,000 for the Wounded Warrior Project, and he also does a lot of work with Cube Community. He is a member of their staff and does a lot of work with them. So let's be honest.
So they're gonna know my arms are broken.
To the point of physical self-harm, that's right.
Yeah. Wait, which mapper is responsible for this?
This is Atomic's fault.
Well, he said it was actually this new map that just got ranked, so it's actually one specific mapper's fault.
Yes, thank you, Phrase and Oddloop, for creating that wonderful chart of Villain Virus that made me play it for 3 hours straight, to the point where I was falling on the ground, hurting. It's a very cool chart. And then getting it unranked, so I have to do it again. But,
no.
Very cool. Yeah, he was asking me today, he's like, can I please play? And I'm like, Atomic, no. Like, you're gonna hurt yourself. And then we also have Cameron, and you are... Tell us a little bit about yourself as well.
Well, thank you very much for having me in this esteemed company. It's always good to hang out with Elliot.
Yeah.
Share some vibes with him in good company. And it was great to see you, Ashley, stop by our little meetup with TwitchCon. That was really nice, and we were very excited to have you and all the enthusiasm you bring to the industry and the VR community.
Oh, thank you so much. I want you to know that several people have come into my stream since then to laugh at how I swung at the at the balls like I was playing Beat Saber, because I had never played Synth. I think I played it once before for just like a minute. But yeah, I've had several people come into my chat and be like, it was really funny watching you swing at the balls in Synth Riders, like you were playing Beat Saber. I'm like, listen, I was doing my best. It was at the very end.
Well, I think I was...
Oh, he broke up a little bit.
Oh no, we lost Cameron.
Yeah, no, he disconnected. No. Their internet's been really bad. We actually so Elliot's kind of filling in for Jim, who's one of the developers of Synth Riders, because he can't get his internet working. So he might hop in and out. Hey, no problem.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, well, I think it was you were showing that spirit there, just jumping in and giving it a go in front of.
Yeah, you did great. It was just a lot of fun. I think one thing after that, we were like, there really needs to be like VR karaoke almost, like, because the way we basically, it was like food and people coming up and playing
it was so
VR there on the screen, and I think a restaurant could do that. I think that would work. It was just
yeah, I think it would be so. I mean, really I had so much fun, and it was at the end. I wasn't totally of sound mind. It was at the very end of TwitchCon, which was at the end of OC6. So I had been working for like 10 days straight. I was exhausted, and it was like party day. And so I'd had a little bit to drink, and I tried Synth Riders for the very first time in front of Synth Rider Dev, and on stage in front of all of these people. And I had never really played it before, and so I have and people are yelling at me, use both hands, because I have no idea what I'm doing. And so I passed the level on like hard, and I go immediately into master and just fail miserably, which, by the way, you guys, I tried again today, and I was able to beat the hardest difficulty on every song I tried, so I did learn a little bit of something while I was at TwitchCon. I'm going to be #1 in the world soon, so look out.
I got to play Synth Riders yesterday, and I was doing the same thing. I was trying to swing at the notes, and I kept missing. And I'm like, why is this not working?
The funny thing, though, almost every Beat Saber player, they start doing horribly at it until they change the colors to do the same, like, the same Beat Saber colors, the red and blue.
Well, yeah, and
then as soon as they switch it, they're like, oh, this is easy. Like,
I didn't need to do that because I'm actually colorblind. So they're the same. They're the same color for me, pretty much. I have to try and look where they're spawning to figure out. I have to do that in Beat Saber, and I find myself doing it in Synth Riders as well. But being able to adjust the colors is usually what I do. I just make it brighter.
So it's kind of like levels of gray. So you just need.
So I have tried to know PIA, which is blue yellow colorblind, and girls can only have that. We can't be red green, and boys can only be red green. They can't be the opposite. So I can't see blue or yellow or green by extension. So everything's just kind of different variations of red. So if you ever need a colorblind to test any of your VR games, I'm your gal.
Do those glasses work? The ones that
they don't on my kind, and they only work on like certain levels of the color blindness. So I'm actually not. Wait, did it stop the music and nobody said anything, or is it just really quiet? Can you guys still hear it? Let me just double check. And so then lastly we have Elliot, which you guys might be a little bit familiar with Elliot, but why don't you introduce yourself too?
Yeah, let's see. I do, let's see, a lot of different things. Let's see, I started, with a couple people, we started the Beat Saber modding group, and then pretty soon after that started Beast Saber, just to get a way to really kind of show that this is before ranking or anything like that, trying to highlight good maps to play, and then just been growing the community, very passionate about both rhythm games and VR, and so kind of involved in a lot of different areas of that, just trying to grow the Beat Saber community, grow the VR community, and now grow the Synth Riders community too, helping with that too. So
it's true. Yeah. Literally everywhere I go, Elliot is there. It doesn't matter what community I am in. Elliot.
Isn't that like Elliot exists. All-state commercial? Anywhere you want to go.
Like
Elliot is here.
Elliot's there.
No.
So yeah, Elliot is one of the first people that I started working with personally when I first discovered VR and kind of got into Beat Saber. I curated maps like way back in the day.
Oh yeah, you were.
First map. Yeah, I was like way back in the day I curated, and I actually, that's how I started meeting mappers and getting into the community, because in order to curate, I would like contact the mapper and I'd be like, hey, you know, why'd you do this? And just kind of talk to them about their map, and I just started kind of knowing them all, and I was like, I'd really like to do this and let everybody kind of watch it, right? Because they're so passionate about this and they're doing it for free, and that's really kind of why Block Talk started, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of extension to that is like what so many mappers pour different aspects into it. Like they all are very passionate, but in different ways, which is interesting. Like some more the dance side, some more the like very much lighting, things that like some people turn off and they're like, no, don't do that. But I mean, to them, it's everything, like that whole experience side of it, or
which we're also going to talk a little bit about today with Synth Riders, because you guys may not know this, but Synth Riders, they are incredibly supportive of the modding community. Incredibly supportive. Their API natively, well, I'll let you guys talk about it a little bit. Let's we'll start with, I get really excited about this because and I just go ahead, but let's start with how did you, give me your origin stories, like what made you get into the industry specifically, not necessarily specifically VR, but just the gaming industry in general. Have you just kind of always been into games? Give us your lore. Let's start with Aiden.
Yeah, I've been into video games like when I was a kid with Atari, then Nintendo, Super Nintendo, 64, PlayStation, Xbox, pretty much all of them. And I've been playing a lot of rhythm games as well. I have my phone full of like mini rhythm games at the App Store. There's a lot of them. What got...
You're like the best in the world at Thumper or something, aren't you?
No, it was Killer Instinct.
No, but like you were like at one point like Thumper. I thought you were.
It was Thumper, but I think my best record was with Killer Instinct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, Thumper is
a little bit like the same aspects of a rhythm game where you have to time things and you're like, hitting.
Yeah, we had Mystic Mole, who's a mapper in Beat Saber, who was like also the same. He was really into rhythm games and arcade because he was from he's from like the, I might be wrong, but like the Philippines and he just didn't have access to VR, so he did all of his gaming mobily and in the arcade, and he was like #1 in tons of games that like I had never heard of on mobile, and like Citus and things like that.
Oh, Chris just joined us. Hey.
Hello.
Hey,
sorry,
girl.
I didn't get to do the audio check, so hopefully that's okay. Hi, guys.
I think you sound good. So we are also joined with Cariz, who is a diehard Synthriders player. She has a ton of awesome Synthriders content. If you guys aren't following her, please make sure to check her out. Do you want to tell chat a little bit about yourself? And don't be modest, please, because everybody was so modest. I feel like I was the least modest of everyone. So if you could just brag a little bit, that'd be great.
Well, I think like everybody here, like I'm a VR enthusiast, and I do a lot of mixed reality stuff over on my channel on Cariz, Twitch Cariz, and some content creation over on YouTube as well. Mainly pushing a lot of the VR fitness movement. So if anyone was around today, they would have seen that we had a lot to talk about with that, and Synthriders is huge for that for me. So I play Synthriders every Tuesday back on the channel, and we just work out. So that's kind of my background. It kind of went all over the place there, didn't it?
Which is exactly kind of the whole, like, yeah, everybody kind of gets into VR from different places. It starts off as a hobby, and then we can't stop. I think.
Can't stop.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh.
So what made you get so, like, addicted to Synthriders?
To Synthriders? Oh, well, originally it was just the music and the atmosphere. Like, as soon as I opened it up, it brought me back to, like, I don't know, it was like retro futuristic, and that appealed to me so much. Just the whole atmosphere, being in the original room that Abin had designed. It was like, I didn't want to go, I wanted to be in that world. And of course, like,
I actually saw a video, like, I think you were just watching Star Wars in it, just like on the TV in the game. Yeah, just hanging out in the room.
I'm like, I could be here forever. I loved it. Definitely, Abin, you created an atmosphere that totally appeals to me. And then the maps were challenging. And then all of a sudden that became a workout, and yeah, it just, I couldn't put it down. And yeah, I'm super glad that I was there at the very birth of it.
Yeah, funny fact, when I start making Synthriders, the very first things that I did was that room. Like, if I want to make something that get me super excited about this project, I need to create an atmosphere that I feel like I need to be there every time when I'm testing or doing something for the game.
A place you want to be in. A place that feels good to you. That seems really cool. That, you know, when you first put on the VR headset and, you know, you step into the virtual space and you're just in awe. I feel like we all kind of remember that first moment that we took in VR, and just giving that to people and making it super awesome so that they want to experience it over and over and over again. I feel
And I actually just learned recently that room has a lot of, like, hidden features that are just disabled, but if you could walk around the room, you can actually start songs by, like, picking up the records and putting them in and stuff like that. I was kind of blown away that like is still in the game, but you just can't get to it because the menu's, like, kind of hiding it. Which is really cool. I guess it's more of an Easter egg, or not anymore, because I just
that was the first
spoiling it.
In case you were wondering.
Our first way to pick up all the songs was pretty much that way. So you pick the regular vinyl and put it on the player, and then you have to hit play in a console that you have right near the player. That looks like a Blade Runner artifact or something. But it was like, I mean, just to put the record took like a minute.
Yeah. So there's that part with VR where it's like, this is cool, but is it practical? Like, it's cool to climb up a ladder every time in VR, like to get to the top, but after a while, like, do you want to keep that in your game?
Yeah. It's basically a cutscene that you have to, you know, it's basically a cutscene. All right, so let's talk a little bit about Synthriders and kind of what makes it different from other VR rhythm games. I can speak English. So you guys are kind of seeing a little bit of the gameplay there on the screen. Basically, you ride kind of down a synth wave, and you hit these blocks to the beat of the song. There's a couple of special blocks. I think there's 2, really. There's one, I don't know what color it is. I'm not going to say it because I'll say it incorrectly. But you have to hold your hands together. And then there's another that, depending on how you start, you just kind of have to maintain that that color throughout the combo.
Yep.
Yeah. So what makes Synth Riders different from other VR rhythm games, in your opinion?
Well, for me, it's definitely it's a next level of challenge. If anyone here has played Beat Saber and played Synth Riders, I try to explain it as best I can. Like it feels like there's more movement, there's more. You really have to be on those rails. You do have to hit the orbs, and you have to. There's so much more coordination, I find, in Synth Riders, and a lot more dodging and squats and moving around. It's
I think one thing in Beat Saber, the sabers, so that sabers extend so long from your hands, so like you don't have to actually move your hands to those positions. You can do a lot with your hands in front of you. But Synth Riders forces you, like, if you're going to stretch your hands all the way out in order to hit something, so your arms have to go straight up like that.
Right, and they have that point system that'll reward you or penalize you according to how good or how accurate you are at hitting those orbs as they come at you. So there's a different level of difficulty with Synth Riders, and I think that's what makes it so appealing.
Yeah, I think
that great soundtrack too.
Yeah, Rails is a big differentiator. We really put a lot of effort to make them feel good.
Do you want to talk about what Rails are?
I
guess maybe it's a.
It's a sustained note. But it's like you have to surf along, or it's just like a rail, like a skateboarder. If you think skating on a rail, grinding on a rail. It's a little bit like that.
I've done a lot of see it. There's some footage of it kind of showing on the screen there. So like the opening there is a rail that you kind of slide on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think when like the song hits a soaring part of the song, it just feels amazing to hit that and ride it up. It really kind of pulls you into the song.
Yeah, I also really like the movement in this game, and I think it's really interesting how they incorporated the 2 hands and the single hand along with the color coordination. I think that's also a really cool idea. It keeps it very interesting no matter how much you play it.
Yeah, Abin, where did that come from as far as like the different like 2 hand one? So the different modes, you hit it the left and right color, kind of like Beat Saber, but then the green notes, you have to decide, do you want to hit it with your left hand or your right hand? But whatever you choose, you have to follow through all the way. So like you can't just switch midway.
I think
and then the 2-handed combined.
From the very beginning, Synth Riders was for us like a combination of Guitar Hero, because we love, especially me, I love the long notes. Thumper because of the speed, and it's super aggressive rhythm game. And Killer Instinct because of the combos. I really want to make some the rhythm game that different kind of combinations to make more points. But it was super complex at the beginning, so I hope we can bring something more interesting to make like different kind of combos in the future. But what the combos that we have so far, we have with 2-handed and a single hand, and I think it's working pretty well.
Oh, it works really well. What are you thinking? What other combos would be added, or do you not want to talk about it?
Something that you can do with your hands in advance in order to achieve something. I have like several ideas in my head, but making more natural movements that are not specifically related to the notes. But before you start hitting them, you will get like an extra score or something. Those kind of things. I have
So like a charge up maybe or something like that, or
yeah.
I see.
Yeah, so one sort of he was talking about before with like you raise your arms up like your Thor lightning comes down and then you like thrust it down. But like to do that it takes a couple seconds, so you have to time it. Like if I'm coming to a large spot of notes, that like having that combo at that large spot of notes will give the most points. If I do it before on a light part of the song, like I can activate it easier, but then like I'm not going to get as many points. So like that strategy of knowing when to activate it to get through that section to get like the highest amount of points. Yeah.
And I want to go back to what you said kind of about the inspiration that went into creating Synthwriters. That was kind of one of my questions for you guys, was what caused you to create this? What was it just born out of your love of other rhythm games?
It was that, and it was at that time I was into synthwave, but like crazy, and all this retro wave move came out a year before, and I was super into that, and I created a community called Retro Wave VR on Instagram, and I started featuring different artists that they were making artworks with retro wave aesthetic, and I pretty much started from there. So I started like combining pieces, like how is this gonna work in my head with music, with wave, and this aesthetic, and all this mechanics that I had in my head of games that I enjoyed in the past.
And you even started Synthwave, like you started Max VR, like a game that was sort of like, talk about that, and even a couple of like your even Google Cardboard experiences.
Was there anything outside of VR that you worked on? Because it sounds like you have a bunch in VR, but was that where you started? Did you start right in VR game development?
I started right in VR. I mean, my background is. And
where you broke up.
Yeah, you said my background is, and then we lost it for just a second. And what?
What is it?
What is your background in? No.
The Mafia. No, just kidding. Oh, God. What was edited out?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
My background is I'm UX and UI designer, or professional UX and UI designer.
Okay.
And a creative director. I think. Yeah, I mean, I was the first time when I've tried VR in my life, I need to do something with this, and I start my very first project was my mother is an artist, and one of the things that I wanted to do with her was like how to translate her art into VR. So I created a project called Atmospheres, which is Atmospheres in English, and it was pretty much like the style of art of my mother is super modular, to create things with models and all this stuff. So what I did was to take those pieces and create 5 different atmospheres in a VR experience using her work.
And it's actually really cool, kind of like a tribute to your mom, you said?
Yeah.
Really cool.
That is awesome.
And Elliot was saying a little bit about your mom before. Do you want to tell us a little bit more about that now? Are we ready for that content? Because Elliot got really excited about Abraham for a little bit there at the start. Tell us a little bit more now, Elliot.
There's a lot of artists, rock stars in my family like that. Famous in different countries. So my mother specifically, she have a art studio for children in Venezuela, and her students has been winning like over 100 awards around the world.
That's really cool. So
I guess you would have to
from a family of artists.
Yeah, you can tell. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so Synthwriters, I think one thing you said recently I didn't realize, but it kind of started like you did for your mom an experience. I think you said something about just wanting to create more an experience even before a lot of the competitive elements came in.
Yeah, yeah. Synth Riders, it started as an experience, but I think the community really pushes forward to make it more complex, I would say.
And in a good way. Yeah, definitely. Which I wanted to talk about that a little bit. We talked a little bit about what makes Synth Riders different, and we kind of got everybody's answer. But my answer would be the developers and their connection to the community. I think really stands apart for me. Why don't we talk a little bit about that, kind of what makes you guys as a development team different from other rhythm games in how you are with your community and with the plugins and all that. And Carice can talk about that, or whoever, because you guys all. Whoever feels comfortable taking that one, because I think it's really cool.
I want to hear Carice. I want to hear Carice.
I feel like you've been in my life forever, Abin. Like the whole community, like the Synth Riders, actually the VR community as a whole is a very unique family. I love it. It's so it's very, very close. When I saw Abin come into chat, I think it might have been the first week that I was streaming Synth Riders, and you're so supportive. Everybody in my chat and my community knows who you are, and people outside of the community now know who you are, and I think that separates you, to me, from like other big major games that I was playing. There's a soul to Synth Riders, and it feels real, and it has a heartbeat. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, and that's I really enjoy watching every single people that stream Synth Riders. I mean, it gets me super excited every time when I see like someone is streaming Synth Riders. Like, I want to go. When I watch,
it's gotta be so rewarding.
What did it feel like, for example? What does it feel like when you see somebody playing your game and like having a blast? Like, what is that like for you as a developer?
It's fantastic. It's fantastic. Yeah. Even if they are not having a blast, if they're saying something like a negative content, we take everything to turn it something positive at some point.
Right.
Yeah, I'll attest to that.
Still helps.
It was like soon after we started the Beat Saber modding. I guess a lot of people think like Synth Riders came after Beat Saber. It almost came out at the same time. We started it, and as we grew, I think we got more, just more company. Like, since we were very quickly like the largest VR Discord, we had a lot of companies give us keys and stuff, like, hey, play our game, can you promote our stuff, and kind of asking stuff like that. And Abin gave, he came in, gave the game, he's like, hey, just want to get your thoughts on this. And a lot of times, like, I'll play it and give some feedback. And I played Synth Riders, and I was like, okay, this has a lot of potential. It has some, I can tell it's early access, and I gave a bunch of feedback. And most of the time, like, I don't really hear back, and like a couple days later he's like, okay, fix all those things, like, anything else you see? I was like, what? He's like, what do you mean you fixed it all? And then I played it, I was like, whoa, he did. And he's like, keep them coming. I was like, really? Okay. And then as the kind of the community Discord, we started the community Discord from that, just as the game started growing. But I mean, the level of love, I guess, that the whole dev and Abin's poured out, like, even so many streamers, like, all of their artwork Abin actually designed. So like even Cutie Pop's whole like aesthetics and different.
That's crazy.
Omati, which is a great dancer, like he designed some of the like clothes for her, and just like pouring out, like people who play the game, like really just pouring out and helping them in different ways.
Right? Like they're here talking to us, hanging out with us. It's Friday night. They've been working, and they're chilling. So I think that's really important.
And coming from,
and just also like the set up the party too, right? Like just letting everybody try. That was so cool. It was so much fun letting everybody try their game, and like they did not have to do that. So really cool.
And coming from like even modding the game with Beat Saber was just always this kind of like, oh no, an update, is coming out, and the mods are like, it was just so refreshing where he's like, that's awesome, you're making a mod. It's like, whoa, you're excited we're modding the game? Like, that kind of different developer involvement, which was really, really cool.
Yeah, let's actually talk about that for a little while, or for just a little bit here. I want to talk about it because a lot of my audience plays Beat Saber, and we're very used to the struggle of mods breaking our game and not having mods. So what makes Synthwriters different is they fully support mods in the modding community and content creators. Custom songs are natively supported, plugins are natively supported with their API. In their official Discord, there's guides on how to add custom songs, how to install them with pictures, how to use custom avatars. That's all natively built in. Hi, Flea. Thank you. Flea is another awesome Beat Saber player. Flea, and also if you guys are listening, let's do this really soon. We'll do this in about 5 minutes. They've also given us 25 keys to give out to you guys. That's so many. You can try this awesome game. So make sure that you do !point giveaway. It's going to tell you that you can't enter, but it is working. So please enter. We'll do a couple. We'll do a couple in a few minutes here, actually. So yeah, they support your avatars. They have a press kit available. So if you're a content creator and you need like the official Synthwriters, that's where I got this fancy logo that I'm using on the overlay. They have all of that stuff for you to make your content look really cool. They really, really support custom mapping. So I really want you guys to try this game and get in there and map because it's super fun and they're super supportive, and like there's so much potential there. So I think it's a really... Go ahead.
Also talking about mods and custom assets, we've released today an option that allow people to create their own stage. So
platforms that Beat Saber.
So custom platforms.
Yeah.
And I mean, by the way, like, look at the platforms. I don't know if you guys are checking out the gameplay because I'm kind of cycling through some media that they sent me. Like, look at those stages. Like, they're so cool. Like, they're so cool.
There's so much going on that, like, it wasn't until opening one of them in a mod editor that I like truly appreciated all the details, because it was like I opened it up in Unity and got to like zoom around almost like it was a fly on the wall, like looking at different things, and I was like, wow, like how much of this you actually miss and don't even notice playing the game, but it's crazy all the details in there. Yeah,
that's right.
And so why don't we do a couple of make sure that you enter. Why don't we give away like, well, we'll do one at a time so Laurel doesn't feel super overwhelmed. So the rules are you have to be following. We don't have any subscriber luck on right now because I want everybody to have a chance to try this equally. You don't have to be subscribed to me. So make sure that you're following. You do have to respond and use the key within 2 minutes though, because we have so many of them and we have to get through them all. So if you want to go ahead and draw one and handle that while we talk a little bit, I want to move on to the quest. We have a little bit of a video here that you guys sent me for the trailer for the quest release. That is happening on the 31st of this month. Yes, there it is.
We got Dragobot 510 with a win right there.
See if he's here.
First key giveaway. Hopefully he's here.
Nice.
You have 2 minutes to contact Laurel. He's in charge of all that. Congratulations. Also, if any of you mappers get a key, please map me a song. Hey, he's here. Please message Laurel.
He's here.
What song do you want, Ashley?
I don't know. I actually played today, and I was able to beat the songs that I wasn't able to beat at TwitchCon.
Nice.
And I downloaded Blazon's newest map, and then another community mapper's newest map, which, by the way, you can get custom maps from bsaber.com/synthwriters.
Actually, I just took that down today because there's a
I was like literally just using it today.
There's a new community website, synthwriters.com, but the writer, there's a Z, so it's their community website. So it's a brand new website that came up. synthwriters.com.
Cool. Okay. But you will be able to get custom songs, and again, join their Discord, which I think I broke. That I broke it. So that's cool. Broken. I wonder if Laurel can. I wonder why. Let me untime him out. I'll untime him out stream elements, and we'll just deal with that. So yeah, you can join their Discord, and it tells you how to install those custom songs. So let's talk a little bit about the Quest port. What was it like getting Synth Riders ready for the Quest? Which, by the way, I'm really excited. If you guys have a Quest, or the Quest is the best thing ever. So if you have money for something this Christmas, please ask for a Quest.
I am definitely getting a Quest. I got to play on it at TwitchCon, and oh my god, I am sold.
Yeah, like the tracking, that blew me away.
The tracking on the Quest was better than me playing on my CV1. It was insane. Like,
So
I could probably say the same thing. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, it's okay. I brought my Quest over to the family a couple weeks ago, and that's what's on the list for Christmas. So everyone's gonna have one. This Christmas is gonna be interesting. We're gonna actually probably eat dinner, and then everyone's just gonna get into their Quest.
Oh, nice.
I actually had a friend of mine that's close to me buy a Quest.
Oh wow! From you, because of you, or like?
No, yeah, because of me, because they wanted to get into VR, and I was like,
yeah.
Like, look, I know you don't have a lot of money to spend on a new PC and all that. Get a Quest. It's like the best way to get into it, and he got it, and he says he loves it.
With the Oculus Go, they had where, like, if you refer someone, you get $50 or something. I think I've sold so many Quests. Like, I really wish they had that. Because, like, every time I show somebody a Quest, they're like, "I'm buying one."
I need one. Yeah.
Because I do these these ghetto street teams that I've put together myself. I go to conventions and I host these houses. And if you have a Quest, you kind of have to do this where we go out and we just set up Quests and we stream to our phone.
That's awesome.
And then we just let people try our headsets, and it's so much fun. So yeah, what was it like getting Synth Riders onto the Quest? Were there any challenges with that?
Yeah, there was a lot. There were a lot of challenges. There, mostly because you have to downgrade the aesthetic.
Mm-hmm.
And
was that hard for you as like an artist that's so passionate about you know what I mean, the environment that we're existing in there? Yeah, I imagine that very challenging.
It was challenging for me, but it was easy for Jan to just change all the shaders of the game and make it different. Jan is
it was almost like, you know, the Heartless, like, hacks, like, he's very much a developer, so, like, he's like, oh, we'll just turn this off, and like, Abin's over there crying. Like, my work of art is being destroyed. Yeah, exactly. You're like, oh, it's just as good.
We were having so much problem with frame rate, and I told Jan, like, try to do whatever is needed for the QA team, and then I will jump in and fix the aesthetic. But when I opened the project, like a week after, I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Like, no, I hate it. And I start
after we downgraded it. Yeah.
And I start like, okay, let me calm down and start. We finally did it. I mean, we're getting into a good consensus of what the maximum things that we can put in the game and what not. And yeah, it's actually working pretty well. But it was a challenge, and the Quest QA team was super supportive. So, I mean, fantastic. They respond all our questions. And yeah, I mean, I think our next step is to start doing marketing. We're gonna finish the QA process on Monday, and I think we're ready to go.
That's awesome.
We have to give a shout out to Six Lib from YUR, because everyone who's building a VR game wants to get on the Quest, and they're only letting on 5 a week. So there's a huge demand, and you get so much attention. And we went through the application where you're just sort of sending in your pitch and what your game is and what your concept is, like submitting a business plan. Around that same time, they reached out to us because they were very interested in the fitness angle of it, and seeing if they could work with us to get their SDK in our game. And he was able to make some connections, sort of with some back channels with some of his contacts at Oculus. and you know, it helped move the whole process along. So even getting over that hurdle, because you're just one of thousands of people, I'm sure, companies, I'm sure they're looking at. When, you know, if you went to OC6, you saw the swarm of people who were trying to get on the platform. So again, I think that speaks to the community and the support that you know, everyone has for each other, which is really nice when you're in an industry that's just getting up off the ground, and sense of people helping one another. So thanks a lot, Six.
Six is the creator of Live, or one of the founders of Live. Let's talk about
that for a little bit, actually, because that's kind of why Karais is here. So I think that's a really good segue into what Live is working on, or what Yer is working on. Six was one of the co-founders of Live, and he does a lot of work with Yer and the Yer team, who they kind of make history in VR fitness. They're doing awesome things. Today they announced a new desktop application, and I'll let Karais tell us a little bit about that, since she is their flagship coach. So she's probably the best person here to talk about it. So why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
For sure. This is like the app is I think for most people who are playing Beat Saber and Synth Runners, you know that Yer Fit became a it was hard baked into the games, and it was a mod for Beat Saber as well. And what it did is it would calculate the calories that you were burning during a session. Now that limited us to those two games with that calorie counter. And what they did today, or they've been working on for a while, is to, okay, every VR game that we have in our catalog, you're burning calories. Let's calculate what you're doing in all of these games. So you now have in your dashboard in Steam, you can download the Yer Fit app, and it's going to calculate all the calories that you're burning between every VR game that you're playing, and it's pretty amazing. Tonight I knew that there was certain levels that you reach. So you start with I think there's 4 levels currently that you can work towards. Legendary being the final one. I pushed myself super far today. I'm like super exhausted at the moment, but it's just a way to keep your VR fitness and your whole week of calorie burning. It's to keep you on track. And I wish I could show pictures to you guys right now, and that's something that I'll probably send over to you that you can share with everybody later. But it's just a way of...
Oh, of the overlay, yeah, it looks so clean. I love the way that it's
really, really good. Yeah, so the cool thing about this is it's not only baked into these 2 games, you're now able to use this across the board.
Yeah, it really keeps you motivated. You know, it's just like that little bit more to go, and I reached my goal. Six was a huge World of Warcraft player. And,
yes.
So wait, I think we talked about that, because Karais and myself both were huge World of Warcraft players.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yeah, and so just that accountability and like tracking everything feels so much like min-maxing, like leveling up. Like it's so good.
Yeah, so that legendary, the orange, all those colors correlate kind of from the World of Warcraft kind of idea of like getting the legendary. I actually got to design the logo for your...
I know.
So yeah, that's the new logo there. They're your coach, which is really cool. Elliot helped with that. So basically what Karais is saying is Yer is now standalone. It is a desktop application. It works no matter what you're doing in VR. So if you're playing Tilt Brush and you're moving your arms, it's going to track that. If you're playing VR chat and you're dancing, it's going to track that, which that is something I love to do. I will dance. I'm pouring sweat, and I have, I wear a watch, but for people that aren't wearing, a fitness tracker that way, just to be able to see exactly what you're doing in VR is so awesome.
And it's more than a watch. It's using both controllers and the headset. Correct. And then it knows even the games you're playing, where it's like, all right, go a little bit more on Beat Saber.
There's so much that's going into it.
Spent in each game, which is really good to know. And I like it's also seeing the time that you've spent in each game, how many calories you're burning in each game. That way you can design your workout for the week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's do a couple more. If you think you can handle it, Laurel, you can just do like 4 back to back while we're talking a little bit about yours. So Yeah, that was announced today. It's going into early access. If you're interested in trying it out, make sure you join your Discord.
By the way, Ashley. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I got a chance to write. I got to work with Rise. I'm gonna call you all three. I'm gonna call you everything every time. I got to talk. We worked together for like a couple of really intense days of like editing and interviews and talking about this app, and I was so excited because I'm really bad at keeping surprises a secret.
Me too.
Oh, Magma 1-1. Awesome. Yeah. So I was freaking out, but I luckily I could talk to you guys about it. So yeah, I got a chance to break that news and kind of report on the new application. So if you guys are interested in trying that out or being in the early access, make sure you join their Discord because they're doing really awesome things in VR. And
you did a great job on that article. It's in VR Fitness Insider. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like good.
So Ashley is famous. Well, you already were. But...
Shut up. That is not true. Ashley can't stop working. Ashley can't stop working.
You work really, really hard.
It's the information too. It flows so well. I love it.
Cariz, what? I heard something about like you'll be making playlists too and stuff like that. Tell me.
Yeah, that's gonna be coming up. So we'll probably go with a playlist a week, and if we can fit it in, it's gonna be even more frequent than that.
Cool.
So, yeah. Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Really cool stuff. So like you basically
workout.
Yeah, your workout partner, your trainer, literally is the people that you already enjoy watching, right? You're already hanging on their chat, not moving around, and now you can just basically watch them stream, and they will help you get into shape. And that sort of accountability is so important in reaching personal goals. So I just think it's going to be really cool. I think it's so important. I love VR.
Me too.
Do you guys like VR? I love VR.
Okay.
Ashley at OC6, like the announcement of kind of what's coming, and she got so excited and even emotional. Like, didn't you start crying at one point?
I cried. I
cried
the whole time, Elliot.
This is how we know somebody is a true VR fan.
I cried the whole time, and I cried during the keynote. I cried when I met Swan. I cried for like 3 days. I'm very emotional. I'm very passionate about VR. I get really excited, and like OC6 is just like everybody that you talk to is the exact same way. Like they all love VR so much.
Yep.
My people. I found the source.
It's totally my people. Yeah.
You're in your tribe. You know what I mean? And it's like, when I get a chance, like just even this, I was Atomic knows I'm hiding it really well. I power posed before, but I was so nervous. This is the most nervous I've been to do a block talk because like these guys help create this game that that people love and they spend time in, and it's getting people moving and it changes so many people's lives. And VR has had a huge impact on my life. I don't know if you two know my story. I think I shared it with Cameron, but I used rhythm games in VR to recover from spine surgery and essentially learn to walk again. And so it's just something that I'm super passionate about. So talking to you guys about it is just the coolest thing ever.
Your story actually won the official Beat Saber
story.
Yeah, Beat Saber.
I won my quest from Beat Saber for my Saber story, which I love my quest. Cool. So we've got the quest thing coming up. We've got another couple. We've talked a little bit about the year stuff, which again, total even before this extra plugin. Total year support in the game. It's still there for synth writers because they totally support, improving the game, community-based efforts to do that, which I think is super cool.
And like Live, it's all free too. So
there's actually an update.
Sign up.
There's an update that came out today that fixed a bug with your. So it's native.
Oh yeah, the built-in synth. So like you're being built directly into synth writers too.
Yeah, you see like it's right there on the platform of the game. Like when you log in, it's like play, and I mean there's like a year tab built into the actual game. So
yeah,
total native support, native avatar support. Really cool. And so if people want to stay up to date with news like that, so stuff like the quest release or the updates, what's the best way for them to do that?
Real quick, we got another key for Mama Mello.
Ooh. I think we also got. I think Shadow maybe won one.
Oh, Shadow was that?
Or no? Let's get an update, Laurel. Where are we standing? What we got? I trust them. No Shadow. 3 winners so far. Very cool. Keep going. Give them away till we get. Let's go to 5. We have 25 of them. We're gonna do a bunch at the end, and then we have some cool stuff to show you guys. And we'll just let him keep doing that. So yeah, if people want to stay up to date with the news, where should they head? What's the best place to do that?
I think the official Discord is when we find our best spot to put all the announcements. We also have Twitter and our Steam. You can see Steam and also see all this as well. But every time when we release it, it's better to talk and get feedback. I think it's working pretty well so far.
I think part of the
issue up a little bit, yeah.
So you're saying the official Discord, also Twitter. You guys have a Twitter that I follow. I'll link your socials here in the chat. Cool. We got Fire. Fire was just staying with Atomic and myself at the TwitchCon VR house. We all stayed together at TwitchCon actually.
Dope house. Chill.
I feel like 25 is a lot of keys. And I asked how many was a ton, and you guys said 2, so we have a ton of keys. I don't want to hear it.
Well, to be fair, they said 20 pounds of keys.
Yes.
20 pounds.
Or
they also said like 20 purples of keys, I think was one of the answers.
Purple keys, yeah.
Alright, so let me ask you guys, what about... So you guys obviously play Synth Riders, and you love Synth Riders. What is everybody's favorite song in the game to play?
Favorite map, huh?
Mm-hmm. Oh my god! And Abraham just cheered 100. So I officially work for Synth Riders now. I'm sponsored by Synth Riders. You heard it here first. This is how rumors start.
I wish Bang would come into my chat and give me some bits. But...
I know. I wish they'd sponsor you too.
You know, it's okay.
I'm sponsored. So yeah, everybody, what's your favorite map? What's everybody's favorite map?
Mine?
You start. Yeah, you start
with Evan.
I have a lot. I mean, I really like all of the things.
That's the combat answer. Well, that's like the parent. I love all my children equally.
I could never pick a favorite.
I think the first one was Tonight from Sunset Neon.
Yes. Yeah.
Toge
did such a good video for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that video is fantastic. And then when we released Fix Pack, I think the Prism song was pretty good. I mean, and What the Shark, which is the mapper, the official mapper that created that fantastic bitmap.
She started as a Beat Saber
paper
mapper, and then she did the first Audica map. Before we even had an editor, she mapped a song like just from the JSON code. Like, she's pretty hardcore. And then is now officially mapping for Synth Riders.
Yeah, I think the Prism is one of the songs that like a lot these days. It is one of my favorites, even to. And there's a new song that we are about the update from Celldweller, Into the Void, and that song is, I think it's gonna be, I'm gonna be playing that map for a long time because I like it so much.
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
which we are actually, I'll tell them, but we won't show them yet. We're actually going to get a chance to see that map tonight. They're letting you guys see it early.
Oh, nice.
We'll wait till kind of the end when we're kind of bombing everybody with the giveaway. Yeah, we get a sneak peek. This is not released yet publicly. They got it approved today to show you guys early. So we get to see it like a week ahead of everybody else, which is really cool.
That'd be exciting.
Yeah.
And this is with the label Fixed, who they've been a tremendous support for us, and he actually started the label, and it's all about, he's got that independent spirit, like, we're an independent VR company and they're an independent label, and he got out of a terrible deal and he started his own company, and he's working with a partner, James Rhodes, and Kevin. so supportive of us. And this song that you're going to, this is going to be a world first for you guys and for everyone. It's a special Synthwriters edit of this track that's going to be coming out, and we have a 1 week exclusive with it. So we were just talking about what can we do to make this launch special as we're getting on the quest, and they came up with this, and we're so grateful for this gift. One artist to another. I think it's really special. So and it's a very heavy. It's a full on song.
A good mosh.
You burn a lot of calories if you can master it.
I'm excited. I think it's like yes.
One thing that you mentioned, just one artist, the other. I think, something we've been doing at the Beat Saber modding group is trying to solve how do you work with music and solve the licensing, and that's a whole complicated mess. But one thing that Cell Dweller did is actually let's use VR as let's not just this is an issue, but this let's premiere 10 days early and premiere my song on it like a VR game, which is just really cool to work on that level. Not saying this is the problem, but this is a cool new medium and platform.
It's a good solution, right? It's kind of a compromise, and especially with I think we all think this because we're so into VR, but I really think VR is the future. I think that it's going to be the computer that everybody uses, and I think it's going to be where we do our computing. I think it's going to be where we do all our socializing, and so I think that is going to be kind of the future of music release and things like that as well.
Because playing a song, it's just it connects you to a song,
to the music
on a completely different level.
You
become one with the music. It's just amazing. Yeah.
And some people are asking too, are the keys for the Quest or for the Rift? But that is changing a little bit near the end of the year with the way that Quest and Rift games work, and with the link cable and things like that.
This one is just the Steam version.
So this one, this is the Steam version.
But maybe we'll do another giveaway for
quests. We'll swap it for a quest. We are
there you go.
For these keys.
Hey, look! There you go.
Cameron,
the devs
are
listening. The devs are listening. So if you have a quest and you want it for quest, let us know, and they'll give you a quest.
The quest keys are not out yet, but we will honor them.
Yeah, we'll make a list and I'll just switch them out, and we'll have the same amount.
Great.
There you go. See, so whatever you want. Let's do another. Let's do another 5 because we still have 15 left. Have we done 5 so far? Just keep doing them, and then when we get to the 15 point, we will get ready to do that reveal thing that we were talking about. So we're talking a little bit about music selection and kind of the issues that you face in a VR rhythm game with copyright and legality and things like that. Is there any artist or any song that would be a dream for you to get in the game? Something that you would just love?
I'm curious if you...
I can hear him thinking.
We're super fan of indie artists, and we've been talking with 99 Love a lot, and we're coming with a music pack for this release with them. But we also with indie but high level is that we really want to include. I would say something like Lindsay Starling is.
Oh, I love her. She's amazing. The violinist. Yeah. She's wonderful. Yeah, that'd be sick. You should have you reached out to her? You should. I bet she'd love that. She's so cool. She loves gaming. She's such a nerd, and she loves music. And I think she'd love it, honestly.
She was at TwitchCon, right? Yeah, she was.
Oh, was she?
I think so.
I didn't get to meet her.
She played an Oculus Venues, or not Oculus Venues, but she played in VR. I think it was Wave VR. She played recently. So
that's super cool.
She is connected to VR in some way.
Do you hear that, Lindsay?
That's right.
Awesome.
Synth writers would love to work with you. Are you listening?
Cameron, who's your dream artist? Like anybody?
Who would you love to work with? Who would you love to have in the game?
It's a no-brainer. Celldweller. I love that guy.
Oh, come on. He's already in the
game. No hesitation there. That was instant answer.
Alright, the rule of the game is
also,
one that's not in the game. Flea got a copy of the game, and he's one of the best I'll just say this really quick. He's one of the best in Canada at Beat Saber. So I'm really excited about who's winning these keys. I'm really excited to see the leaderboards in about 2 weeks. I expect you guys to not let me down. I wish multiplayer was out now.
Okay, so go ahead. What were you saying, Evan?
When I started the Scene Wave Music Pack, one of the last songs that we there was a Candroid song, and I was dreaming. Yeah, I was dreaming like from the very beginning, because Candroid is my favorite Scene Wave artist of all the times, and I was like, oh, it would be fantastic to have Candroid. And we did it. I mean, that.
What was that like for you? Was it incredible? What was it like working?
It was incredible. When I met him in person, I was like, oh my god.
Did you cry? Because I would have cried.
No. No, but it was super nice. They came to the office, to studio, and we hang out with them. All his team, including him, they are fantastic people. They are open to like explore different ideas how we can make this work. From the music perspective and the game perspective, how to leverage our companies even more, and make more cool stuff together. So, in that sense.
And when Avin says like he was dreaming of this happening, like I gotta hang out with them over OC6 and TwitchCon, and like Avin literally does dream like just about synth writers. Like he wakes up, he's like, okay, I got this new idea for this or something, and he's kind of like those dogs, you see running, except he's in his dream. He's like moving his hands playing synth.
I mean, I dream about VR pretty much every night. I was so nervous about this talk that I had to get up this morning at 6. I didn't even have to set an alarm because I just kept waking up just thinking about this talk, knowing that I had to get done for it, and I would just dream about it.
You joke about dreaming in VR, like I deadass would dream about playing Beat Saber.
You sleep in VR. He literally sleeps in VR. I do too, so I guess we can't. We live in VR pretty much.
Come on, just pull up a good old movie theater and VR chat and just pass out. That's how I live life.
So, what about you, Cameron? Did you pick somebody yet?
I just wanted to jump in about there's another segue, and picking up on 99 Lives, which is another label that we're going to be releasing. And when we launch, we're coming out with I think 9 new songs. So we're going to have 30 songs in the game. This label, 99 Lives, has a platform called Pretzel. And the whole thing with Pretzel is that every artist listed, it's where you can go and search for music, and if you're a game or you're a game developer and you're looking for music to have, if you look for it on their site, it's all going to be cleared to stream, to be on YouTube, everything.
Yeah, like the copyrights are all clear.
So you can actually monetize as a streamer, which is,
and not have to worry about getting striked. And
you don't have to deal. You talk about it's a very arcane, complex thing to navigate. All the licensing of the music. You think how old the music publishing industry is. It's very tricky, and if you put something out and then it gets pulled because it doesn't have the right licensing, that's frustrating. So they're dealing with that problem.
Because for a lot of streamers, that's their job. Yeah,
and I mean the industry. I don't want to say anything about copyright music, but I mean some of the algorithms out there, and it can be difficult to monetize or to want to create content as a streamer, or even just as a developer. Like for an indie dev team, you know, taking on Sony and saying like, I want to make a music game, and then knowing that that's what's out there, like that can be really intimidating. So any solution is good, and I think the future will only get better, you know, as distribution changes and technology advances.
Yeah, I mean, it really, I think you can kind of compare it to MP3s when they first started, because I mean, like when MP3s came out, like we weren't even sure, can you rip the CD that you own? Like, is this legal? And then like there was no real like legal solution, and it just took a while for the music industry to catch up. And now we have things like Spotify, and we don't even think about it. We just stream the music that we want. But it really took a long time, and it took, I think, a lot of the indie artists to kind of start that. Start just like, here's my album, here's an MP3 album, like just kind of sharing that, and kind of and then eventually the bigger artists came from there. But I think a lot started just with the indie scene.
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Which I think is probably one of the bigger issues as well when you're doing development. What are we at now, Laurel? What number are you at? How many do we have left? Cameron still did not pick an artist that he wants to work with, by the way. I'm still waiting for that answer. It better be really good.
I got this. I went to this wedding in Montreal last weekend. Anything current that was very frustrating, but they did play Wild Young Cannibals. That Johnny Come Home with got this trumpet solo. I got that song stuck in my mind, and I would like to play it in Synth Riders. I would like Synth Riders to be able to handle any kind of song, because I love dancing. I got a story. I got to tell about Elliot. So Elliot was crashing at our studio in Marina Del Rey, and the poor guy's like 24/7, living in Abraham's brain. A number of days on end.
Wonderful, fascinating, but sometimes scary world.
But this guy's so passionate. We would get into the office, and you know, getting settled, and we're doing the day-to-day business, running a design studio. And it's like, oh my God, where's Elliot? Is he missing? Is he gone? Did he get lost? Did he get locked out? And we couldn't find him anywhere. And he's out on the balcony doing his exercises to Beat Saber. He's got his gear strapped on, and he's working up a sweat.
I want you to know,
I didn't even know you saw me.
It took me 3 days to meet Elliot at OC6. We knew we were both going to be there. We had planned to meet each other. It took me 3 days of texting to meet him at OC6. It was like the very last day we finally got together. I was like, oh my gosh.
He was like, we're gonna make this work. You stay right there. Don't move. Like, I'm coming over there.
Where are you?
We got to try out the 360 Beat Saber together. That was really cool.
Yeah, that's what we got to wait in line and do the 360 levels, which were super cool. I'm really excited about those. I think they're gonna be awesome. Oh, Seheon one of my long time community members. Yeah, so 360 levels are coming out in Beat Saber pretty soon. I think it was
may or may not be the reason why I'm
was it December 7th? Oh, they're so sick. They're so fun. And I love, so this is another thing I want to talk about. We talk about everything kind of, is the community within VR. You know, we're sitting here with the Synth Rider devs, and we're talking about Beat Saber, and you know, we all play kind of everything, and everybody's cool with that, because it's all one kind of VR family. Because I think if we try and split things up, and we try and like keep one community over here and one community over here, like that's just not going to be good, because we're really the foundation of VR. Yeah, have you guys found that the VR is kind of one big happy family? We're all learning from each other's mistakes.
We're also Beat Saber players, by the way. I mean, all of us.
Right. Okay. So how good are what rank are we? Tell us about your PP.
We were hanging out with Vladimir. At OC6.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Cool. He was totally cool.
No. Tell him about it. So like we were like, let's get a picture of the Synth Riders team, and we were like, oh, just ask the next person that walks by, like if he can take the picture. And then I look up, and there's Vladimir, the CEO of Beat Saber, like holding the phone. He was the random person walking by
that you guys grabbed. Oh, I think I saw the picture after that you guys took. It was recently posted somewhere, like today or something. I was looking at of you guys kind of all out on the roof together. Yeah, just like hanging out, like the Beat Saber dev and the Synthwriter dev.
Yeah.
Because we're all in the same trenches. I mean, VR is so new. There are so many things in VR that we're all learning how to do, because we're just now doing it together, that we can't fight, I don't think. We kind of have to work together and support each other. And I really believe that in my chat, for example, I have a lot of Beat Saber fans. I believe that there are tons of Synthwriter players in my community that just don't know that they're Synthwriter players. They just need to play the game. You know what I mean? They just have to get in there and try it, and then they know, because it's all kind of the same try.
Yeah, and that's, I think, one thing that I almost feel like a responsibility with, like, I think we've created a situation where Beat Saber, there are so many custom songs and stuff like that, like, it's hard to get bored just because there is a endless stream of stuff coming out. And I think it's unfortunate because you miss out on a lot of really unique, like, really amazing experiences. Like, I've heard people say, like, oh, you know, like, I play Beat Saber, and they haven't tried something like Synthwriters just because they kind of have, you know, an endless stream of entertainment there. So I've almost kind of made it like my mission, like, no, you got to try this. This is like very different and a very different, cool way to experience music in a
especially if you're like one of the top players too, which I know that community is really tight knit. Play Beat Saber, grind your PPE when the songs come out, and then when your wrists hurt the next day and you need to actually move your muscles, play Synthwriters, because you're still playing VR game. You're playing a rhythm game. You're stretching your muscles. You're moving a lot more of the extensions. It's still a great game. It's different, but it's a great like rest day game where you're not. Well, it's not even a rest day game because it is intense. But you're not going to be using your joints in the same way. You know what I mean? You're extending your arm.
I'll give you 5 more keys for that quote. Well, I love it.
To be honest, though, playing a lot of
Look at that! I earned you guys 5 keys.
When you play a lot of Beat Saber, you're gonna kind of start swinging your wrist at those spears. So
you're right.
Remember, you don't need to do that.
There was actually a time I thought, like, I'm burning more calories and actually being more active in Synthwriters than I was in Beat Saber, and I think that was one of the. I hope your fit comes to this because I need to compare the two.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
We can absolutely do that with the new desktop application from Mirror, where you can track all of your activities seamlessly in VR, no matter what game you're playing.
On the screen, I'm seeing Oma T doing some of the two-handed, like that move for your core. I feel my abs burn. Yeah.
And you're extending a lot. Your muscles get super warm. You're sweating. You're still practicing staying in rhythm if that's kind of your thing, if you're into rhythm games. We all know how well that translates. A lot of the people that play Beat Saber have musical histories. They play instruments. They've played other rhythm games. We have a lot of Osu players in our midst. That stuff translates, right? So just don't play Beat Saber every day. Like, branch out, try other games, because the community behind Synthwriters is just awesome. These guys are so awesome. Seeing them at TwitchCon and like having them here, just seriously, it's worth your time. And now that you guys have these keys, I expect the leaderboards to look very different. I want us to single-handedly go in and conquer them.
Just don't remove my score.
I'm sorry. I must go.
And now that I know how the scoring works too, you know, it's all about kind of centering your hand right where the ball is. So what Cariz was saying earlier, you definitely have to move, right? A lot more. You have to move your whole body to make that happen.
And with the swinging, there's actually 2 modes. There's the normal mode, which is, I guess, what we're talking about, root. Accuracy is more important than like swinging it with force. And then there's the impact mode, which actually, if you do swing into it, you'll get full points. So there is
we forgot. I hadn't mentioned that there are totally different game modes to Synthwriters. Correct.
You can sometimes swing into it or punch into it, and it does have that same or similar element.
So I think we're kind of a little over the 10 point. So for now, what we can do is if chat has any questions about working in the VR gaming industry, developing a game for VR, developing a rhythm game for these guys, working at Synthwriters. Now is the time, and Atomic will be taking those questions from you and asking. I saw a couple of them. I had one sent to me before. Oh no, I asked it already. We went ahead and had that.
Yeah, so if you guys have questions, just go ahead and post it in chat, and I'll be giving them out. Cameron, who's gonna win the Rugby World Cup? It's the first one.
Who's gonna win the rugby? Well, that is a very good question. I gotta. If I'm gonna be real, let's say the All Blacks. But if I'm gonna be patriotic, I'm gonna say the Wallabies. I think it's gonna be the All Blacks.
Wait,
these names are so foreign.
Yeah, are you from Australia?
Yes, I'm from Australia.
Where in Australia are you from?
Melbourne.
Oh, very cool. Oh. One of my very good friends is from Adelaide in South Australia.
Okay.
I can't believe I didn't.
Yeah.
I can't believe I didn't recognize the Australian accent. I'm a dodo. What were you gonna say?
Oh, it's been bleached in the. Oh, I lost it.
Don't 6 shoot me 6 says, how are you guys so cool? I don't know,
gamers.
man.
What do you mean? They're gamers.
We're kind of gamers over here.
We're blushing in VR. No, just kidding.
When he said Wallabies, I was like, oh my goodness. Can you imagine? I would like to cheer for the Wallabies. Oh, we lost him. Oh, he's back. I would like to cheer for the Wallabies.
Oh, you would? Yeah.
Yeah, that is an amazing team name.
The Wallabies. Yeah. No, that's Australia's team.
Oh, we have
Cameron, I was telling him earlier, like I was watching Fast and Furious last night, and I was like, Jason Statham. And I'm like, that's totally Cameron. I don't know if has anybody ever said that before?
Oh,
you look a lot like Jason Statham.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We'll have to pull up a picture sometime.
Yeah, we definitely need a side by side.
Who asked the question about the rugby?
Oh, that was
Dinio. D-N-I-O or 0. They are a big fan of you. I haven't been reading their comments, but they've been very excited that you're here pretty much the entire show. If you want to say hi to them. Yeah, there he is. His and me. Or them, sorry. Silly blonde lady. See? Don't assume. Don't assume people's genders, you guys. Say them, they.
No.
Whip silly blonde lady. Oh wait, and we had another one from Phoenix there.
Phoenix,
that question.
Can y'all work with Alice in Wonderland? Her music is amazing.
Nice. We'd love to.
Yeah.
Can you make an introduction?
Hey, that's what I'm saying.
I think there's a couple Alice in Wonderland songs mapped on Beat Saber, I think. Maybe. Thought so.
Oh my gosh.
What? Ibis, will Synthwriters ever gonna have an option for stand tilt platform?
Stand tilt platform?
Wait.
Stand still platform.
Oh, stand still platform.
Okay.
We have it.
So, like,
that's the one thing everybody says that. I'm not sure why they don't check in options or like why it's hidden.
Oh, you mean that was the first thing I did. Oh, you mean the platform going forward. Yeah, you can turn that off if it makes you feel nauseous.
Yep.
I thought they meant like a modified version where you didn't have to move as much, but yeah, you can totally turn that off.
And I think they Abin, did you say the last update you like tweaked kind of the size of the platform so it reduced
one of the things that we did
sickness?
25% bigger, so the floor is people or at least one of the things.
You were breaking up a little bit. I think he was just saying the floor. I think one of the things was making it 25% bigger because I think from the bottom of like the corner of the bottom of your eyesight, that was part of the thing triggering motion sickness if you feel yourself moving really fast. So,
right, which is something that they talked a lot about at OC6, which you guys maybe hadn't. I'm talking to chat. You guys probably haven't thought about, but There's some challenges with VR that are just brand new because we're just now developing in VR, and one of those things is motion sickness. And what makes you motion sickness, or makes you motion sick when you're in a virtual space, we're still kind of figuring all of that out.
Yeah.
You know, what and where your peripheral being still and what you're looking at, what you're focusing on. So yeah, they're always changing and updating and kind of figuring out what makes it easier for us in that virtual space.
But I love the moving forward aspect of it. And I was talking to some other of the Synth Riders streamers, and they're saying like, oh, we always at least play like 1.75 no jump speed, which unlike Beat Saber, where it just makes things seem like they're coming faster at you, like you're really flying, so it gives you that kind of rush feeling as you're flying through it all. But that's a really cool feeling. So I started doing that. I almost always play like 1.75 no jump speed. But yeah, if try with the update, but I think with if you can handle the motion sickness, it is a really cool, like, you just feel really awesome flying that speed
on your hoverboard through retro, through these amazing levels. I'll show another video here.
Laurel's popping off with these key giveaways.
Yeah, I'm gonna have him go till we have about 5 left, because I told you guys this would happen. Time just kind of flies when we do this. We've been here for about an hour and 40 minutes now, so I don't want to keep these guys too late, because we chill and we talk, and it goes really, because you start to talk about VR and it's just like, man, just go. We are nerds.
We'll admit it. Wait. We're not trying to hide it.
Well, I think I'm lost. Wait, what is VR?
Well, it's
I thought we were talking about rugby.
Oh, well.
Wasn't this about rugby?
This is the rugby podcast.
The rugby channel. This is the VR rugby channel. I recognize the question. I know you.
You recognize? You figured him out.
Yes. Busted.
Oh. Senpai noticed you. If you're still there, yes, you're still there. Good.
Oh, whoops! Fuck behave.
So yeah, once Laurel gets to about 5 left, we're just going to kind of give out the rest of these keys. We're going to have a chance to check out, there is a brand new song being released to kind of celebrate the launch on the Quest. Synth Riders has been ported to the Quest. Another awesome game that you can play in your lunch hour on, waiting for your doctor in the doctor's office. I literally bring my Quest everywhere and I just play in waiting rooms. I don't even care. It's hard to care once you have the headset on what people are thinking of you because you can't see it anymore.
See somebody at the airport playing Beat Saber, flying back, which is really cool.
Definitely at the airport, at layovers, on airplanes. I don't necessarily play Beat Saber on airplanes, but I do play other VR games and watch movies and stuff on planes. The Quest is just amazing. So yeah, in order to kind of celebrate that, go ahead.
Is there any chance to put the video in full screen? Or?
Yep, it's going to take the whole screen. It's only going to be that. Yep.
Fantastic.
Great minds. So we're going to watch a brand new song and a brand new map that is going to be coming out for that. We get early access to it. We're going to be the first people to see it. So that's going to be really special. And then right after that, we'll kind of say our thank yous. I'll ask my closing question that I like to ask right at the end. And then we'll find somebody to go raid. So yeah, we get early access. Very cool stuff. What do we get? How are we doing, Laurel? You see Whip? Oh, who's streaming? Yeah, we gotta go find somebody. And then after this, by the way, we're going to hop into VRC. We're gonna be hanging out there, doing some dancing. We're celebrating Faith's birthday, so if you want to join us in VRC, we're always in an Invite Plus room, so come chill with us. But we're gonna raid before we do that, because I like to kind of take the... Maybe we'll find a Synth Rider. Is anybody streaming Synth Riders? Because that'd be really cool if we could go find a Synth Rider stream.
I'll have
instead
a look
of a Beat Saber stream. Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Whipstick,
we left until 5.
Whipstick, get off your ass and start streaming.
Yeah. If you are... but watch this video first, before you go stream. Hey, Toki, thank you so much for the raid. Hey guys, if you are coming in here, please enter the giveaway. We are giving away a ton of keys. We had 25 at the start of this stream. I think we've got 8 left, so make sure that you... !synth, !ride, !giveaway. It's going to tell you that there's no giveaway running. Please ignore that. I broke my stream elements earlier today. We are here with the Synth Rider devs. I hope that your stream was good. We also are joined with Karais from Ure, talking about their new desktop application. Lots of exciting stuff tonight.
Ashley, you've said Kreese's name different every time.
How do you say I was going to do that?
I
love it.
She said I can do. She said I can say it any way that I want to.
Okay, so every time you're
exactly that. Yes.
Nice.
It's important. You have to make people are special. They have to know they're special. So I was like, I'm gonna call you Rise. I'm gonna call you Karais. I'm gonna call you Kareezy.
I'm like, call me all that stuff, all of it. Perfect.
Just call me, please. That's me, not Kareezy. She would never say that.
I would totally say that.
So yeah, we've just been kind of hanging out. This is we're joined with the Synthwriter devs. We've got Abraham, who's the creative director. We've got Cameron from marketing. We've been talking about Synthwriters and VR and OC6 and Beat Saber and rhythm games and basically everything, honestly. Synthwriters is porting to the Quest on the 31st. We had 25 keys. If you want your key to become a Quest key, those aren't out yet, but you just let us know and we can get those switched. The devs said they'd do that. Oh, somebody wasn't there. You do have to be here and you have to respond and you have 2 minutes to reply to get your, hey Stu, thank you so much for the 3 months. Stu is an esports champion. I met him at the World Finals in Leicester, the Season 3 World Finals. He's a Space Junkies World Champion.
Oh, cool.
They took first place.
We gotta hang out with who is it that we were hanging out with? Who's a big Space Junkies player?
Pesky.
Pesky Cashier. Yeah. Of course, Pesky. Yeah.
Fun fact, I played against Pesky in a random 2 match earlier today.
Oh really? No way. That's
no
awesome.
way. Oh yeah, in Divinity, not in Divinity, in Destiny 2. He was in the Destiny 2 game. That's so funny. I'm on like a weird. Me and Pesky joke all the time that we're on like a weird world tour of just accident, because we met at the World Finals in Leicester, and then we were at Dragon Con together in Atlanta, and then we were at OC6 together in San Jose. I mean, and when I say together, like we shared a house, like we shared housing, because we're both in the same communities and we're poor, right? So it's like, do you want to split housing with me? And so we've just been kind of traveling around the world all year together. VR and we just met. Yeah, we're like VR pals. And just like he helps me do the street team stuff where we kind of showcase VR to folks. So when I play this video, what I'll do is I'm actually going to mute and deafen Discord too, because there's audio in the song. So we'll just listen to the music together. I think Laurel has how many left? Okay, it's 5 left. So what we're going to watch right now is a brand new map that's coming out for kind of to celebrate the Quest port of Synthwriters. Nobody has seen this yet. It is not released. You guys are going to be the first people to see it. Let me make sure that
it's sort of a promotional
short-term
piece.
access,
it's
right?
a little clip. Yeah. It's not the whole map. It's celebrating the music.
It's a little teaser.
The launch. Yeah, it's a teaser. Yeah.
Correct. And they were working with the artist to kind of premiere the song, and it's just like a huge teamwork collaboration thing, which kind of everything in VR is really. We all kind of help each other out.
Yeah.
So I will get that. Let me hope I do this correctly. Oh my god, that was so cool!
Hype!
Okay, did I do it correctly? Everything? That's awesome! That was so cool! Dude, that was a jammer! Did you guys like that?
Yeah, big time.
World premiere, Ashley.
Thank you guys so much for sharing that. They loved it. It was a banger, right? That was so fun.
Quick, I need to play it and get my name on the leaderboard before Atomic.
Yeah, I need number 1.
Destroys it. It's my chance. No.
Dude, that was so cool. So with that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you guys kind of my final question that I like to ask to kind of close things up, and then I'll let you guys say thank you. And then while we do that, you can just slowly give out those last 5 keys. But yeah, if you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice before starting Synth Riders, what would that be?
I will say next time I will try to start working on the mechanic rather than. But I think the design really gets mechanic.
Oh, you broke up a little tiny bit. Say that one more time.
I will say that if I need to go back and that I've missed at the beginning is start with the mechanic of the game instead of the aesthetic. But I think personally the aesthetic was what brought me into it. But
it's what inspired you and started it, but you kind of wish that it wasn't. Maybe you had started someplace else instead of there. That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
What about you, Cameron? If you could give yourself one piece of advice before starting Synth Riders, what would it be?
I'm gonna lose a lot of sleep over this, Abraham.
Uh-oh, what's coming?
That's my advice.
Oh, don't lose.
Don't
go
lose.
to sleep.
Okay. I thought you were gonna lay some. Yeah,
I thought you were gonna dab on him. Like, I'm sorry, Abraham, but.
Yeah. No, I gotta
say, this was to build this game within the studio, and we're a small shop. There was a lot of internal debate and what's going to happen with this and where's it going and so forth. And Abraham faced Aben or whatever. It's like Cariz. I can't say his name. His handle the right way. He faced all kinds of difficulties and had to just keep pushing through. So he was experimenting in a new medium. He was pulling in all sorts of different resources and working with musicians and developers and in Unity. Most of the time we were saying, "What the hell are you doing? Get back to work and make us some money." It was a big effort on his part, and he when you say you feel the love in this game, it's true. Every time I demo it, I think I'm showing people Abraham's brain. I said, let me walk you into Abraham's brain, and they come out of it and they go, oh my God, that's fantastic.
It's so cool. It's so cool in there.
Where do I get it?
But before all those pieces come together, that's hard to see the vision when one person sees that in their head, and it's not there yet. Yeah.
All we knew was we're not sure where this is going to end up, and we don't know how long it can keep going for. But
are you happy with where it has?
Well, as you were saying that OC6 is an environment for VR, it was so exciting because people were running up to Abraham and saying, "Oh my God, did you make Synth Riders?" Because he had the T-shirt on.
And you see that impact that you've had on people, right? Like,
yeah. Even people, funny enough, we were coming back to LA. Someone in the airport, I had the Synth Rider T-shirt, and I was sleeping, and he woke me up like, "Did you see Synth Rider?"
with your shirt on. Oh, that's so cool. So if you're listening, chat, we talk about this a lot on my show with mappers and modders and people that are making these plugins and providing content. Thank your devs too. Like, join their discords, tell them the things that you want to change about their games, but tell them the things that you love too, because they are just as passionate about this stuff. They pour their lives into these games. And so a lot of the time, from what I've heard at least, I won't speak for them completely, but it's because they just enjoy people having fun, and when they hear that they are doing their job, it means the world to them because they've put so many hours into this stuff. So thank your devs, thank your mappers, show your appreciation, be active in those communities.
But at some point I'm going to have to thank your wife and your cute little baby.
For letting you follow your passions, yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All my family, family, my partner.
And then also Elliot and Karai.
Everyone from the community, especially the beta testers are being amazing, especially Wirral. She's being amazing. What the Shark, and all the mappers. I don't want to mention. It's a lot of people, and people get mad at me because you don't.
Everybody. Yeah. No. It is a really special community too, and I think it reminds me of when we closer to the beginning parts of the Beat Saber modding group, and now it's so massive with we had the 200K contest recently, and there's something I hope we never lose, just that close ness of a lot of the people, and there's so many amazing people in the community that just push it forward. But yeah.
What about you, Karai and Elliot? If you could go back in time and give yourself one piece of advice before starting your VR journey, just your personal journey, what would that be?
Definitely for me, it was research your hardware. I actually had a pretty tragic moment that I bought some cheaper hardware to go into my computer, and it kind of burnt some stuff out.
Oh,
but do your research for sure. When you're getting that all set up, and just do it. Just get into it.
We talk about that a lot. Yeah. Be the change that you want to see. If there's something that you want out there that doesn't exist, make it. If there's something you want to do that nobody else is doing, do it.
100%.
A lot of us here are we started it because nobody else was doing it and we wanted to do it, and we couldn't shut up about whatever it was that we were passionate about, and that's why we're here.
Yeah.
What about you, Elliot? One piece of advice for yourself.
It's a good question. I think maybe starting, I was a lot more shy to just stay behind the scenes. I loved to push things forward, but as far as I guess even talking more in public, it wasn't something I did as much on any streams or anything like that. I don't know. Maybe it's just been a cool other way of connecting to people. Some of the
so just embrace.
Yeah, yeah. It's easy to be the lurker in a Discord and that kind of thing, but just.
It's really scary to talk, which is funny because I would have never thought that about you, right? When we met, it was it's so natural to talk to you, and you're so fun to be around, but we all struggle with that sometimes, right? It's super intimidating.
Yeah. How about you? Let me hear your version.
If I could go back and tell myself anything, God, nobody has asked me my own question back at me, so I'm not prepared for this. Just that I'm good enough. Just that I'm good enough and to keep going. Because I doubt myself a lot, and especially, when I was first getting started, even now, I hold myself back a lot because I get really scared, or I feel like I'm not doing a good enough job. I was really worried I would disappoint you guys, or I wouldn't be good enough, here, and just...
Because I would say the same thing about you. You're so natural. You're so... so I guess that's the secret. Everybody is just as afraid as you are.
Everybody's as scared as you are. We are all terrified, and nobody knows what they're doing, which is another reason to be kind. Everybody's struggling. Be kind to everybody that you meet, because none of us know what we're doing. We're all just doing our best, and so it's important that we remember that.
Yeah.
And I think, was that everybody? Did we get everyone? Last key. We are on the last key. So with that, thank you guys.
You have to ask
Atomic.
Oh yeah, Atomic. Give yourself some advice.
I mean, I don't really have much besides the pain isn't worth it, bro. It's not worth it.
Listen to your body. That's a really good piece of advice.
100%.
Yeah.
It's not worth it, bro.
Oh my god, I just got my second paycheck from Synth Raiders, you guys. It has got 100 bits in the chat. Yeah, listen to your body is really important. And I think that I talk about this a lot on stream, and Curtis talks about this a lot on stream. You are working out in there. We are both athletes. You can really hurt yourselves. Be careful, please.
Big time.
The PP is not worth it.
And Curtis with the 300 biddies. Thank you so much. Go ahead.
Did we hear from Curtis about her?
Yeah, she said that if she could go back, I think we heard from everybody.
Yeah.
Oh, the hardware.
Yeah, to do her research.
Oh goodness. I had to replace.
Oh my god, and Stu too, and Tetsu.
Oh god, it was horrible.
You actually burned out your computer?
I did. Actually, the motherboard was gone. The my Corsair. Yeah, keyboard was gone. The mouse was gone.
What?
Same thing. Yeah.
Are you like overclocking like crazy or something? Hey, I gotta get those frames per second. Like overclocking.
My extension card, like the yeah, the USB extension card, just like
Carice, I had a question.
Yeah.
When you were at the meetup, the Synthwriters meetup at TwitchCon, and you were having challenges, you know, I'd seen you stream so many times, and you were having challenges. I think you missed it earlier on in the conversation about changing the colors of the orbs.
Yes.
Were those orbs mixed up for you?
They were mixed up for me, yeah. And it was funny because I heard people in the crowd calling out, I think you have them in the wrong hands, but for me, pink and blue were in different areas.
Yeah, in your brain,
so
yeah. Thank you, Beat Saber.
Yeah, yeah. So I was doing this like really awkward crossover, just trying to make it through a very basic map. It was crazy.
And is that because when you play it, the color of the orbs on the other side, they were all crossed up? I think someone changed it. Was that right, Elliot?
Yeah, somebody came before you and changed it, and it was like I felt so bad because you're getting frustrated and like you're so amazing at the game, and then like. It was like, what is happening? And then as soon as you changed it, you're like FC'd it, like cleared it, got like the high score of the night, something like that.
It's amazing how like your brain gets trained that way once you're in VR. It's nuts, right?
But for me, it actually made a great like people were laughing. It was fun. It was like a fun moment. So it was.
Oh yeah, that was a fun night.
Don't take yourself too seriously, right? It's just a game.
I think, For as you were saying, people who play a lot of Beat Saber and then they want to get into Synthwriters, you can change the colors, you can change the game around, you can change the stage, you can do a lot of modifications to adjust the game to your style and how you like to play it.
Yep.
To somebody who plays Beat Saber, I'd probably recommend changing the colors, knowing that it like the easier levels are more experience, and then that same like feeling, that rush you get of the harder Beat Saber levels if you can get up to master, and especially like move up the note jump speed. Yeah, when you get there, like that's that feeling that your body just like releases when you're in the music and you're doing all that movement.
Flow state.
Yeah, the flow state. Yeah.
And with that, we have been here for 2 hours now.
That's amazing.
So I don't want to keep you guys any longer. So I will just say thank you guys. If you want to say thank you to chat, and if you have somebody, Carice, that is streaming Synthwriters, if you could DM that to me, I'll let you guys say goodbye to chat, and chat say goodbye to them before I send them away.
Bye. I don't know.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, thanks.
Really appreciate it. It was great.
And they're saying have a good night. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was so wonderful. Thank you guys so much for being here with me. I had an absolute blast. I was so nervous, so you guys made it wonderful. Thank you for making it super easy on me.
Thank you for doing this. That's awesome.
And thank you, chat. You guys were awesome. I hope that you all download Synthwriters and play it, and I want to see you on the leaderboards. So thank you, devs. Bye. I'm gonna mute and deafen you, and I'll be back in just a minute. We'll go find somebody to say hi to.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Night.
Hi, chat. It's just me and you now. That was amazing. Was that not the funnest? That was so cool, right? Like, it was so cool to talk to the people that are literally responsible for the games that we love. So I'm actually going to be joined very soon by some more devs of another game, Audio Trip. So we will be talking about Audio Trip, and we'll be doing another giveaway for Audio Trip, which is a game that is not released yet. So make sure you check that out. Tonight we're gonna go find a Synthwriter streamer if somebody is streaming. Thank you guys all for hanging out with me. There's a lot of new faces here, so if you aren't following, make sure you follow the channel. We play tons of games together. I also stream VR. Tomorrow I'm gonna be streaming Synthwriters and Audio Trip and Beat Saber, so come hang out with us. What else? And we watch like anime together, and we play Minecraft with a Minecraft server, so make sure you join the community. If you're not following Carice, make sure you do that. Make sure you go check out Ear. We had so much stuff tonight. Tonight was so fun. Let me look. Does anybody see anybody in the Synthwriters category? Is somebody on? Let's go pass the love on. This might duplicate sound, and I apologize if it does. No, it won't. Thank you so much, Hawk, for the 100 bits. I appreciate you. Alright, so we've got somebody. Oh look, Stu is streaming. He is downloading Synth Riders. It is his birthday stream. He's downloading Synth Riders because he won Synth Riders during this talk, and he's going to be playing it for the first time. So he's a professional Space Junkies player. I think we should go watch Stu. Let's do that. Let's go spread the love to Stu. He's a wonderful dude. He loves VR. He's passionate. Oh, he's got his cam and everything. This is going to be sick. It's his first time playing this game. I just watched him install it. Ah, I'm so excited. So thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. I will see you tomorrow. I'm going to get in VRC tonight. We're going to have a blast. Today was so wonderful. I love you, Crazy. I love you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Get your copy pastas ready. Be super nice to Stu. Let's watch him play this game for the very first time. Wish him a very happy birthday. And I hope you guys have wonderful nights. Eat delicious food. Pet cute animals. Have sweet dreams. Tell me all about it. Here we go.